Okay, I just wanted to do a little demonstration getting you started on the indexing base. So the procedure for doing this, or the way I'm going to approach it, is to me, logically, this is going to be our 0, 0. So I'm going to create the large circle at our 0, 0, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this circle in place because ultimately this bigger radius is going to be a tangent radius for us. So I need this one in place, this one in place, so I can be tangent, and then I can put the radius of 6, okay? Now, to do that, we've got to get this guy in place and this one. So first of all, this one's not hard. This one has a radius of 3, so we're just going to set that as our 0, 0 in AutoCAD. So I'm going to grab my circle center radius. My center is going to be at 0, 0, and my radius is going to be 3. Okay, so I've got that in place. Then what I'm going to do is you're going to notice right at the top here, this is the quadrant of that circle. Okay, so there's always 4 quadrants on a circle. There's going to be one at the 0, 90, 180, and 270. So I can grab a quadrant on a circle. That's one of my object snaps. I don't think we actually did that one today, but that's one of them. So I'm going to grab that quadrant and I'm going to put a vertical line straight up, and then I'm going to rotate it 30 degrees because that's going to give me the line for which this is going to be on. Okay, so I am going to go back over to AutoCAD. I'm going to do the line command. And again, it's not going to grab that quadrant because I don't have that as part of my running object snaps. So I'm going to do shift right mouse button, and quadrant is right about there. Okay. It's also, if you're up on the toolbar, it's right in the middle. Okay. So now it's going to grab to that quadrant. Okay. That's going to be the starting of my line. And I want to make sure that ortho is on because I want a vertical line. Don't care how long this is, random length, okay? Because I just need it to construct that rotation. So I've just got a vertical line here. Now I'm going to rotate that line. So I'm going to go up to the rotate. I'm going to select this line, and it's going to ask me, or it's going to say, okay, if I wanted to do more, I could continue to select. So I'm just going to hit enter after I do the one. It's asking me for my base point, and I want my base point to be right down here because that's where I'm going to rotate it from. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to turn off my ortho. So now I'm free to rotate. So when I rotate, I have 2 directions. I have counterclockwise or clockwise. Counterclockwise is positive direction from 0. So I do want this to go in a counterclockwise direction. So this is going to be a positive 30 degrees. If I did want it to go clockwise, I would put in negative 30. Okay, so you can do either one. So this is going to be a positive 30, specify the angle, enter. Okay. I didn't do the rotate copy because I didn't need to leave that line behind. So I just rotated the line. If you ever needed to leave that behind, you could hit that copy. And we did that, I think, in one of the problems we worked earlier. Okay, so now I've got this line, right? So if I go back, you're going to notice that this is the center, okay, of this radius as well, which is going to be the center of my circle. Okay, so I need to create a radius of 4-inch circle that has this center, okay? And then I can create and find the intersection for the other center. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to do a circle radius. Its center is now going to be at the top where that intersection is. And this radius is 4 inches, 4, enter, okay? Now this intersection with my line is the center of that top circle. So I'm going to do center radius. I'm going to find that intersection. Now, if you don't have intersection on, okay, it would be either up on the top here, snap to intersection, or shift right mouse button, intersection, and it'll snap to that intersection. Okay, bye. So now this radius is 2 inches. So 2, enter. Okay, and there is that upper circle. Okay. So now I've got my lower circle, I've got my upper circle. This one I can get rid of now because I don't need it. All right. So I can just hit erase, select that circle. Sometimes it's nice to get rid of things that you don't need just because then it's more lines than what you need. Now I have in place my upper circle, my lower circle, and I can create this radius now with the tangent radius, and my radius is going to be 6 inches. So if I go back over here, This is a circle command, tangent, tangent, radius. And so now I want to always click on the side of the circle where I want the blend to actually happen. If I go to the inner parts here, and I'll do that as a demonstration, inner, and I say a radius of 6, it's going to put it on the inside there. Okay, that's not what I want. So I'm going to do an undo. I'm going to redo that circle command, but I'm going to pick on the outsides this time. Outside, outside, and then a radius of 6. And now I have that to the outside. Okay. All right. So if I go back over here, now I can trim away the parts that I don't need. Does that make sense? Okay. Is that helpful for getting you started? Okay. All right. Now this one here, you'll notice you have a 1-inch radius. That's another tangent, tangent radius. Okay. And then you'll trim away the parts that you don't need. Okay. All right.